Hi, so welcome to Lesson 8, Drafting the Rhetorical Listening Essay and MLA Documentation. So, over the past couple weeks, we have been talking about cultural logics and the beliefs that we see illustrated in essays from This I Believe. So, for this week, we're going to continue drafting the paper and you're going to continue working on incorporating source material into your rhetorical listening essay that illustrate the points that you're making. So, let's look at that. So a lot of times students think that they incorporate research or evidence into their papers. They use source material because their teacher tells them to, and that's the only reason. And that's really not it. Of course, it's one of the reasons you might include research in your papers, but it's probably not the primary reason. Oftentimes, we'll use sources in our papers to introduce a point. We might use it to contrast or show the opposite of a point. Um, we might use it to provide evidence that supports a point. So, for example, if you're familiar with those appeals to logic or logos, maybe if you're including research in your paper, that would be data or figures or statistics. You might include research in your paper to align yourself with authority figures or experts. These would be those appeals to ethos or credibility that you might be familiar with. You might include a source to help define a concept or illustrate a process or to clarify a statement. Maybe you're including a source to set a mood, to provide an example, or to amplify or qualify a point. So there's lots of reasons to include research in your papers. So we're going to practice doing that this week. So for this week, here's what we're going to do. You will need to read the MLA documentation chapter from the Hub. You will also want to read from This I Believe from volumes 1 and 2, essays that focus on truth, justice, and liberty. You'll also want to read the Lesson 8 INRW content page on the Writing Center. You'll want to watch the video that I've linked here on integrating sources into your paragraphs. And then you'll want to read from the Writing Toolkit, contextualizing and incorporating source material, and direct quoting, partially quoting, and paraphrasing. And then I also linked here, if you need just kind of to review it, the content pages on writing the introduction and writing the discussion sections. We are also going to complete this week a reading quiz on MLA documentation, a content page, and assignment assessment. And this week, we're also going to circle back and do another round of Canvas conferences. I have left comments on all of your rough drafts that you submitted last night, your introduction in the first discussion section. And I think it would be a really great opportunity and time for us to meet again and to chat about your rough draft and just to make sure you're on the right, you're headed in the right direction this week when writing your paper. So we're going to go ahead and sign up for conferences again. And just like we did last time, we'll meet in WebEx. We'll meet online. I scheduled conferences over a week and a half, so there's a little bit more time. And we're going to schedule them in groups. So you don't have to pair up with anybody, but there may be 2 other people who are in the conference at the same time as you are. But it's just an opportunity for us to kind of listen to each other, to hear how other people approach the assignment, and just kind of get to know each other a little bit more in the class. And then finally this week, you'll want to continue working on the second draft of your rhetorical listening essay.